So this is the history of my local bookmakers. You can see some winnings, some losses, and some cash outs. I'm actually here to show you the real picture of sports betting, because sports betting is mostly relied to scam, and I like to be transparent with my people, with my community, and with the members who follow me. And the last weeks have been very profitable, but it also happens that I lose, and that's all part of betting. I'm now going to show you the last withdrawals I was able to make. I was able to withdraw more as 35,000 euros in the last 3 weeks. It's something that is happening every month. I wouldn't say so. I have very good months, I have medium months, but I also have bad months, and that's all part of betting. But I just want to show you this because it's possible to make money in sports betting, but only if you have a strategy, that you understand probabilities, that you understand the market, and that you use models to evaluate your odds. And that's what I will show you in the next 8 to 12 minutes. So this here is my sports betting model, and my sports betting model will do two things for me. First of all, it will centralize all the most important data of a sport. So in this case, it's about tennis, and it's actually centralizing the service ratings, the return ratings, and the under pressure ratings. But it's also centralizing the ELO ratings, and the ELO ratings is a metric that bookmakers use to compile their odds. So instead of going against the bookmakers, we go with the bookmakers, because we also use it to compare our odds with the odds of the bookmakers. Okay. And the second thing that the model will do, it will tell you if there is value on the odd. It will actually tell you if it's a good investment or not. Is it actually a good investment to put my money on a certain player? That's what my model will tell me. It will actually show you very quickly how you can do it too. So I take this example here, which is Arnaldi against Kashanov. And let's say that my analyst tells me that Arnaldi will win this game. I need to know if it's actually a good investment to put my money on him. And how am I going to do that? Very simple, by using my model. So we will use our model here. So we put Arnaldi here, Kashanov here. Same thing, we just copy paste it in this tablet here. And we're actually able to see that the ratings are very close to each other, which is also actually translated in the odd. Meanwhile, we can see that Kashanov is quite short here. So we can see that both players are actually very close to each other. Now, what's very interesting in tennis is that you can also have ELO ratings on hard, clay, and grass. Okay, we know that the game is played on hard, so we only need to base ourselves on these ratings here, because it's on ELO hard. And we can also base ourselves on these ratings here, which is also ELO hard, and form ratings, which I will explain afterwards. So what are we able to see? We are able to see that there's a gap of 32 points between Kashanov and Arnaldi on hard. And we can also see that these ratings here have been translated into probabilities. And these probabilities have been translated into an odd. And that's actually very important. Why? Because our model tells us from the moment Arnaldi has an odd of 220 or higher, it's a good investment. But you know, it's also very important to always confirm your analyze by a second confluence. And in this case, I use this here. And what are we able to see? We are able to see that again, the gap is also very close, only of 39 points. And we can see an odd of 226 or 180 for Kashanov. So again, from the moment your odd is above 221 or 226 for Arnaldi, it's a good investment. We can get it at 240. But again, I like to calculate my expected value in details. And that's why I will use my second tablet here. And the only thing that you have to do here, guys, is just to put the odd of your player. In this case, it's 240 for Arnaldi, and it's 157 for Kashanov. Okay. Now, I also use Pinnacle odds. Why Pinnacle? Because Pinnacle has actually the best odds on the market. So they take the lowest margin on their odds. And it's always very important to compare them with the odds of your own bookmaker to actually see if you have good odds. And we can see that the odd of Arnaldi here is 237. Okay, 237, and we can see that the odd of Kashanov is 164. So it looks like the liquidity is going to Arnaldi, which is a good sign because we believe that Arnaldi will win this game. I'm just giving you an example. And we can see that's actually a good investment. Why? Because we can get it at 240 while it should be 221 or 226. So we have 9% of value on the ELO hard ratings. We have 6% of value based on the ELO raw and ELO hard. Remember these ratings here. And and we have 1.27% of value based on Pinnacle, which means it's a very good investment. Now, let's say that your analyst told you that Kashanov will win this game. It's not a good investment. Why? Because we get it at 157 while it should be 183 or 180. So it's a bad investment. And from the moment you understand this and that you use this model for every bet that you make, you will make money on the long term. So if you truly want to profit from the markets, you need to stop guessing. You need to start to understand the market, understand probabilities, and use models to evaluate your odds. And how can I help you out? It's actually very simple. If you bet more than 50 euros per bet and you want to master the skill, you can join one of our programs below. And in this program, you will have access to a masterclass with over 20 hours of video content explaining my entire tennis betting strategy. And this strategy consists of 8 different steps that you need to follow chronologically to minimize your errors and to maximize your return on investments. You will have access to all my models, to all my sources, to all the most important data that you need to analyze to make the most of it. And you will also have access to my case studies. And these case studies is actually an example where I started from scratch and made 14,000 euros in 2 weeks, all recorded step by step, which will help you to implement the strategy by yourself. And don't worry, you will not be alone. You'll have access to my personal bets and my weekly analysis of the market, as well as a whole community that follows it too. And if some of your questions are still unanswered, you can book a call with me. You just need to act fast because my schedule is quite busy and I take very few calls. You can check below if there are still some spots left in my calendar link before it's full. And just remember, whether you join my program or not, if you don't apply what I've shared to your betting strategy, you will likely continue making the same mistake year after year and you'll keep losing money over the long term.